Most seniors with diabetes are making one simple hydration mistake every single day, and their doctor has probably never told them about it. It's not about how much water you drink, it's about when you drink it, how you drink it, and what happens to your blood sugar every single time you get it wrong. Stay with me for the next few minutes, because what I'm about to share could genuinely change how you feel every single day. Hi, I'm Dr. Ray, and welcome back to this channel where we talk about real, practical health advice for people over 60. Today, we're diving deep into something that sounds incredibly simple, drinking water. But when it comes to blood sugar management and diabetes, the details really truly matter. Now I know what you might be thinking. Doctor, I've been drinking water my whole life. What could I possibly be doing wrong? And I hear you. But here's the thing. The body of a 65-year-old processes fluids very differently than the body of a 35-year-old. And when you add diabetes or pre-diabetes into the equation, the stakes get even higher. So today I'm going to walk you through exactly how seniors should be drinking water to support healthy blood sugar, protect the kidneys, boost energy, and even reduce those dreaded sugar spikes after meals. This is going to be practical, easy to follow, and I promise, no complicated medical jargon. Let's get into it. Let's start with the science, but I'll keep it simple. Your blood is made up of about 90% water. When you're even slightly dehydrated, and I mean even mildly, not dramatically thirsty, your blood volume decreases. When blood volume decreases, the concentration of glucose in your blood actually goes up. That means your blood sugar can read higher simply because you haven't had enough to drink. This is not a small effect. Studies show that even moderate dehydration can cause blood sugar levels to spike by meaningful amounts. Now, here's what makes this especially important for seniors. As we age, our sense of thirst becomes less reliable. The thirst mechanism in the brain actually becomes less sensitive after age 60. So many older adults are walking around chronically mildly dehydrated without even realizing it, and quietly watching their blood sugar numbers creep up, wondering why their medication doesn't seem to be working as well as it used to. The answer, at least in part, may be sitting in your kitchen right now. The old rule of 8 glasses a day is actually not quite right for everyone, and for seniors with diabetes, it's especially important to personalize this. A general guideline that many physicians use is about 30 to 35 milliliters of water per kilogram of body weight per day. If you're not used to metric, that works out to roughly half an ounce per pound of body weight. So if you weigh 160 pounds, you're looking at around 80 ounces of fluid per day, and that does include some of the water you get from food. But here is the important nuance. People with diabetes who are managing their conditions with certain medications, especially those in the SGLT2 inhibitor family, lose more water through urination as part of how the drug works. If that's you, your water needs may be even higher. Always discuss this specifically with your prescribing doctor. On the flip side, if you have kidney disease alongside your diabetes, which is common, you may actually need to limit your fluid intake. So there is no single perfect number. What I'm giving you today are guidelines to discuss and adapt with your healthcare provider. But for the average senior managing blood sugar, aiming for 6 to 8 cups of plain water daily, spread throughout the day, is a very reasonable starting point. This is the part most people don't know about, and honestly, it's the part I find most exciting to share. Timing your water intake strategically can make a real difference in your blood sugar readings. First, drink a glass of water before every meal. I mean about 20 to 30 minutes before you sit down to eat. Here is why this matters so much. When you drink water before eating, it begins to hydrate the mucous lining of your stomach and intestines. This slows the rate at which glucose from your food enters the bloodstream. You get a slower, more manageable blood sugar rise after eating rather than a sharp spike. For seniors with diabetes, this one simple habit alone can have a noticeable effect on post-meal glucose levels. Second, drink water first thing in the morning, before coffee, before breakfast, before anything else. Overnight, you go 6, 7, 8 hours without drinking. You wake up mildly dehydrated every single morning. Your blood is slightly more concentrated. Drinking 8 to 12 ounces of plain water within 15 minutes of waking helps rehydrate your system, gets your kidneys working, and sets your blood sugar on a more stable foundation for the rest of the day. Third, sip water consistently throughout the day rather than drinking large amounts all at once. Chugging 2 glasses of water is not the same as sipping steadily. Your kidneys can only process about 800 milliliters of water per hour. Flooding your system all at once stresses your kidneys and your electrolyte balance, and much of it just gets flushed out without benefiting your cells. Slow and steady really does win this race. Fourth, be careful about drinking large amounts of water right after a meal. Contrary to what you might expect, drinking too much water immediately after eating can actually dilute your digestive enzymes and slow digestion in an unhelpful way. A small glass with your meal is fine. A big glass 30 minutes before your meal is better. Plain water is always your best friend here, but I know that many seniors find plain water boring, and that's actually a very common reason people don't drink enough of it. So let me give you some options that are blood sugar friendly. Plain water, still or sparkling, is perfectly fine. Carbonated water does not raise blood sugar. As long as there are no added sugars or artificial sweeteners in the sparkling water, it counts just as well as flat water. So if you prefer the fizz, go ahead and enjoy it. Infused water is wonderful. Simply putting cucumber slices, lemon wedges, a few mint leaves, or even some sliced strawberries into a pitcher of water makes it far more enjoyable to sip throughout the day with essentially zero effect on blood sugar. Herbal teas, unsweetened, are also an excellent source of hydration, and some, like cinnamon tea, chamomile tea, and hibiscus tea, have preliminary evidence suggesting modest benefits for blood sugar and inflammation. What you want to absolutely avoid are so-called healthy, flavoured waters, vitamin waters, and fruit-infused bottled beverages that contain added sugars or syrups. Many of these have 15 to 25 grams of sugar per bottle, nearly as much as a can of soda, hiding behind words like natural flavours and lightly sweetened. Always read the label. For a diabetic senior, those sugar grams are not worth it. Coconut water is popular and often marketed as a healthy hydration choice. It does contain natural electrolytes, which is genuinely useful, but it also contains natural sugars and can raise blood sugar more than plain water. If you enjoy coconut water, limit it to a small amount, no more than half a cup, and pair it with a meal rather than drinking it on an empty stomach. I want to take a moment here to talk about the kidneys because this is critically important for anyone living with diabetes. The kidneys are your blood's filtration system. In diabetes, high blood glucose over time damages the tiny blood vessels inside the kidneys, a condition called diabetic nephropathy. This damage can progress slowly and silently for years. One of the single most protective things you can do for your kidneys, alongside managing blood sugar and blood pressure, is staying well hydrated. When you're adequately hydrated, your kidneys can flush out excess glucose and waste products efficiently. When you're dehydrated, those waste products concentrate, the kidneys have to work harder, and damage accumulates faster. There is also a very practical point here. One of the early signs that blood sugar is too high is increased urination. When blood glucose gets above a certain threshold, your kidneys start trying to excrete the excess sugar through urine, and they pull water with it, which is why diabetics can become dehydrated more quickly than non-diabetics during a blood sugar spike. So the very moment your blood sugar goes up, your body starts losing more water. And if you don't replace that water, your blood sugar can go even higher. It becomes a vicious cycle that proper hydration helps break. So drinking enough water is not just about comfort. It's genuinely protective for one of the most vulnerable organs in a diabetic's body. Let me give you a quick checklist here, because as I mentioned earlier, thirst is not a reliable signal in older adults. Here are the signs to watch for. Your urine is dark yellow or amber. Pale yellow to nearly clear is what you're aiming for. Dark urine is almost always a sign of dehydration. You feel fatigued in the afternoon even after a full night of sleep. Mild dehydration is one of the most underappreciated causes of low energy in seniors. You have frequent headaches. Dehydration is a very common headache trigger and is often mistaken for other causes. Your blood sugar readings are inexplicably higher than usual. Before concluding your medication has stopped working or you ate something wrong, ask yourself how much you've had to drink today. You feel dizzy when standing up. In seniors with diabetes, dehydration combined with certain blood pressure medications can cause blood pressure to drop when you stand, leading to lightheadedness that increases full risk, a serious concern for older adults. Your skin feels dry and less elastic. If you gently pinch the skin on the back of your hand and it doesn't spring back quickly, that can be a simple sign of dehydration. If you're recognizing 2 or more of these signs on a regular basis, increasing your daily water intake gradually, adding 1 extra glass a day for a week, is a safe and reasonable first step. Knowing you should drink more water and actually doing it consistently are 2 different things. So let me give you strategies that actually work for seniors. Keep a water bottle or glass visible at all times. Visibility drives behavior. If there's a glass of water sitting next to your chair, you will sip from it without even thinking about it. If it's in the kitchen while you're in the living room, you won't. Place water everywhere you spend time. Set gentle reminders. A simple alarm on your phone or watch every 90 minutes that says, "Sip water," can be surprisingly effective. You don't need to drink a full glass each time. Just a few sips adds up significantly over the course of a day. Anchor water to existing habits. Every time you take your medication, drink a full glass of water. Every time you sit down to watch television, have a glass nearby. Every time you come back inside from outside, drink a glass. Habit stacking is one of the most effective behavioral tools in medicine. Track it simply. A rubber band on your wrist, move it to the other wrist each time you finish a glass, is a low-tech, surprisingly effective tracking method. Some people put 6 or 8 small stones in a jar in the morning and move one to a separate jar each time they drink a glass. Simple visual feedback is powerful. Eat more water-rich foods. Cucumbers, celery, lettuce, tomatoes, watermelon, oranges, and zucchini are all over 90% water by weight. Eating more of these foods contributes meaningfully to your daily fluid intake and is particularly good for seniors whose appetite has decreased, as eating enough of these vegetables can help with both hydration and blood sugar management simultaneously. All right, we have covered a lot of ground today, and I want you to leave with something concrete to act on. Not tomorrow, not next week, but today. Here is your 3-step starting challenge. 1. Drink a glass of water first thing tomorrow morning before anything else. 2. Drink a glass of water 20 minutes before each of your 3 meals tomorrow. 3. Check your water intake at the end of the day and see if you hit at least 6 glasses. That's it. 3 steps. Do those 3 things tomorrow, and I promise you'll feel a difference. And if you want to track whether it's actually affecting your blood sugar, write down your fasting blood glucose tomorrow morning and compare it to your average over the past week. Many people are genuinely surprised. Now, if you found this helpful, and I really hope you did, please hit that like button right now. It only takes a second, and it helps this channel reach more seniors who need this information. And if you have a parent, a sibling, or a friend managing diabetes, please share this video with them today. It could genuinely make a difference in their health. Subscribe to this channel if you haven't already, because every single week we put out practical, doctor-reviewed health content specifically designed for people over 60. And leave me a comment below. I want to know, did you know that dehydration could raise your blood sugar? Let me know in the comments. I read every single one. Thank you so much for spending this time with me today. Taking care of your health is one of the most important things you can do, not just for yourself, but for everyone who loves you. Water is simple, it's free, and it works. Don't underestimate it. I'll see you in the next video. Take care of yourselves, stay hydrated, and as always, small changes done consistently lead to big results. Talk soon.